Today, I'm gonna show you the coolest Lego robots I've built on Brick Science, from level 1 all the way to level 100, starting with a Lego robot that cheats at mobile games. So my friend Jaden runs a 3D printing channel, and so earlier in the week, I commissioned him to design my logo that I can stick on the front of my table right here. And I know he does good work, so I told him I'd pay him $35. And then later that day, I was looking at my wallet and I was like, I don't have $35. So I came up with this genius plan. There's this game called Stack, and it's actually extremely hard. So I sent him this message, and I was like, hey man, if I beat you at the game of Stack with whatever I have at my disposal, yeah, I don't know you the $35. And to my great surprise, he replied back, and I'm pretty sure that means yes. So here's how the game Stack works. Now the game itself is actually quite deceiving because it looks like it'd be easy. All you have to do is line up these and see how high your score can get. So the plan then is to design a simple robot out of Lego that can actually press this screen perfectly timed and see how high the score can get. Before I go any further, I just want to preface this. I'm not a cheater. This is completely just for fun. And if I attempt to break any records, it's going to be in offline mode, so it doesn't count. Because cheating is just not cool. Okay, so some of the things you're gonna need. Aluminum foil, copper wiring. You can tell it's copper because it's, any wiring should do. One Lego motor, one Lego EV3, and one thing of Scotch tape. Hopefully all this is all we'll need. I'm not really sure. So we're gonna need to build a pusher puller with this, so essentially something that'll just go boop, 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 boop. The way we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little thing that we hold onto. So we're gonna have the copper wire run all the way over here. We can hold that with one hand, and then the piece of foil will connect this to whatever is tapping on the screen, AKA the robot finger. So for this part, we will need a lift arm. We're gonna take this, we're gonna attach it like so. Now when we spin this, you can see this piece will go up and down like that. And then we just motorize it and put a little goof troop on there. So this is what we have. So what we need to do is we need to get this foil wrapped around this so that it touches that wire, wraps around, and then the wire, you can see where the plunger will go up and down and tap the screen. We just need to wrap this over it like so and tape it on the other side. True test. Let's go, guys. See, look, I'm just holding it with this hand right here. And now we just need a robot to fail the game for us. Okay, so step 1 is complete. Now we just have to build a little mechanism to go on top of this, and then we have to program it so that the timings are nailed, because we have to nail them timings. Guys, I just came up with the most genius thing. You know that game Cookie Tapper or something? You gotta try it on Cookie Clicker, because, like, that's genius. Look at that, guys. 4.3 cookies per second, let's go. I already have 50 cookies and I didn't even do anything. Okay, sorry, I just had to, but I won't take it any further than this. Dude, you ever played Cookie Clicker?
It's this game where you click cookies, and I just invented the greatest thing. You just set this up and you turn it on, and it automatically clicks your cookies.
Why do you click cookies?
I don't honestly know.
Is it fun?
And you get extra points for hitting the golden cookies. I'm not addicted to Cookie Clicker, shut up.
All right, now we just need to add in a couple of these little bars, make it tall enough, you know? And then we'll build a quick little stand for it that the iPhone can sit on so that it doesn't move around. Okay, set the phone there, let's see if this works. Oh, this is evil, you guys. There's something wrong, how easy it was to make this. Okay, so I'm gonna click New Project right here. When project starts, let's just, let's get a loop block, and the loop block will make it repeat forever. We'll grab a motor block, start motor at a blank amount of speed. It's motor A, so that should start it. And there we go. Almost. Okay, so we just need to fidget with the speed until we get one that actually works. So, I think I've discovered a flaw. The issue is there's no 0.5%. So, let's say like 65 to 66%, and it just needs to be right in the middle for it to hit the sweet spot on the app, but there is no 65.5%. So, to get around this issue, I'm going to do a gear ratio to make this faster. That way, instead of 65.5%, we should be able to go from, say, 65% to 67%, and it would kind of even out. That's my theory. I don't know if it's gonna work. Now you can see the small gear here spinning a lot faster than the big gear. That's exactly what we want. All right, let's test this. Okay, I meant to say we should make it go slower. Okay, so now we just have to do the opposite of that to make it slower. Perfect. Now we just have to program this version to work. Okay, so this is with % speed. Let's test this. Wait. This will be the run. That'll be like, how good is this robot really? This run right here. We're already at 120, 130. I think it'll make it to like 4 something. I mean, we gotta make it to 1,000. Oh. 456, you guys. Okay, so we made it to 456. So I think with that, we're good enough. And I'm just gonna see how long it can go during the call. A little nervous. I've never cheated on a live call before, so. I just texted Jaden, he's on his way. I'm waiting for him to show up on the computer. I'm a little nervous. I don't know what he's gonna think. Hi, Jaden. Welcome. Not much.
Thank you.
Without spoiling too much, Jaden, welcome to Man versus Machine, where you will be the man because I've built a machine.
Sweet.
Would you like to go first?
Sure.
Now let me just remind you, this is for the $35. Also, guys, now's a great time to mention, check out Jaden's YouTube channel. I'll have it linked down below and in the info card right over here. He does some pretty cool 3D printing stuff, so go check him out.
This is a sneak peek for you brick science fellas over there. That's what I'm working on. So if you guys want to see me finish this, go check out my channel.
Go do that, guys, right now. Link in the description. I'll tell you what, I'll give you 3 attempts to get your highest score, and then you give me 3 attempts.
Okay. Just hit 30.
Are you serious? You didn't mention you were good at this game.
60. 61. I got 61.
All right, 61, first game. Okay, all right.
All right, 71 now.
71, gosh darn. All right, 71 high score.
Oh, I did terrible. 37.
37, oh, okay. All right, so 71 is Jaden's high score. That means I have to beat it and get more than that in 3 attempts. Okay, I will have you know during testing, this did very well. 9 out of 10 users ranked it 10 out of 11. This is the Lego Stackbot Pro, and it is officially going to beat you in 3, 2, 1. All right, my first attempt failed. It normally does better. What are we at? 19. Oh shoot. It has to get like this head start where you have to like lose the game and then let it go. It's weird. But this still counts as my second attempt. Oh no, don't hit the ad. Guys, I just failed 2 attempts. This isn't good. Please work. Come on. I know you can do it. Yes, this is it. Yes. 6.
Bro, your
Okay.
hands are shaking right now.
Bro, I have to keep my hand so extremely still or this will mess up. Oh no, it already messed up. Gosh darn it. Jane, you just officially beat the robot.
You said that the batteries might be dead sleep.
I think the battery got slower and that's why the motor's moving slow.
Question, what's the highest you've got to go on in testing?
In testing, I got it to go to 456. It literally messed up at 450, I kid you not. So in the end, even though I didn't prevail against Jaden and lost my $35, I was still able to rack up a whopping 456 stacks with this Lego robot. You know, honestly, this is just really a valuable lesson. That cheating isn't good. And I definitely didn't make the robot mess up on purpose to prove a point. Guess we'll never know. I'm a Lego inventor, and I want to create a Lego robot hand that basically copies my real hand. Basically, the concept is to use Lego gyro sensors, strap like 5 of them to my hand, and then build a Lego hand with 5 motors on it, and each gyro sensor attached to each of my fingers would control a different motor. So you could have a fully articulated hand that you can control without actually being the hand that's being controlled. So the first step is to take 5 Lego Mindstorms motors and attach them in a formation that looks like a hand. Considering how thick these are, that'll probably not be the smartest thing to do. So what if we take the finger designs from our mechanical hand project and build something like this with 1 motor that basically just pushes on this and makes the finger close. So we would have 5 motors, a hand that actually looks good in the front, and 5 motors behind a wall. So I hate to do this, but we gotta rip this apart. We need to shrink these down quite a bit because these are way too big. Okay, that's quite a bit smaller, look at that. So this is before and this is after. Before we make those changes to the other ones, I'm just gonna test if this will work. We got our EV3 with some off-brand wires because
I was getting tired of the short ones.
So we take a motor. Now this should theoretically work, but I'm not really sure. I've made a simple code which essentially just turns the
degree of rotation from the gyro sensor into motor degrees turned.
So check this out. This is strapped onto my index finger, so when I bend this, guys, that is so awesome, let's go. That's so cool, dude, oh my gosh. Okay, this is perfect. We're gonna take this off and have it back behind, so basically we'll just have some axles running through here. So the next step is then to rebuild all of these, and then we can put them in a hand formation, run axles back to the motors, that should make them turn, and then we'll just have to figure out a way to make it turn like this. So that's perfect. We've got these all built up, so now the next step is to attach them all. Bam, 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 bam. Look at that, perfect. And then each one of these gets controlled by servos. I just built this box with a circle in it, and essentially, we're gonna have the hand coming out of the circle. Then this will be able to turn. We'll have all the motors and stuff behind it back here, and that will make it so everything is controlled and looks good. The robot hand will just be in the front. So the next thing we need to do is figure out how we're gonna make the wrist rotate. If this stands up right here, we attach the wrist to it, it could work if we just do this and have it only rotate, because my arm only rotates like this. If we just take an axle, a metal axle, put that through this, then I'm thinking that should give us good enough turning room where we can just put this thing like that. Now this turns on 1 motor and these can just rotate around it because your arm doesn't really turn like all the way anyway. These things will control the fingers. Now we just need to make something back here. We'll control these so they don't get out of hand. Okay, now we just gotta install 4 motors and hope this is finally balanced. Perfect. This can go behind the wall like this now. And the hand sticks out, and this thing goes here and rotates with it. There's no way this is gonna work. We installed the motors on the bottom. Now we just gotta attach these motors to these. Okay, I think I figured out the first linkage mechanism. That's perfect, yo, look at that. Now we just gotta set up the other ones. This is the mechanism I'm using here, that just basically pulls it back. So I'm gonna set up the other ones, and then we'll fix the thumb, and then we can figure out how I'm actually gonna mount these to my hand. The next step is to add the thumb, because the thumb needs to close and open, and also go like this side to side. So we need to get that side to side motion, something like that. So if we can mount this, wait, can it be this simple? Okay, now if we have a thumb right here, how do we make that close? This is feeling more impossible every second, you guys. The major issue being, this thing has to be able to bend and it has to work wherever this is. I mean, obviously you never have your thumb farther than this, but from here to here, it has to bend that entire time. I think we're gonna have to redesign this thumb with these gears so it actually opens and closes, and the gear should work. Okay, so I figured out the thumb, check this out. This goes through the side like this. It can move like this, but in any position, using this other motor back here, it can also close. The mechanism for that just uses a pivot, and since this pivot joint is right on the pivot for this motor, this thing can turn no no matter where it is. So since we got this part of the hand and the thumb figured out, we can now mount it inside of the circle wall thing, and then we can strap all the sensors to our hand and work on the programming. It's actually gonna make this thing work. Okay, we gotta mount this in here somehow. I was thinking if we could just this is so hard. All right, finally after 4 hours, we have this in here. I think all the mechanics are done. Now we have to attach cords to all these. Lucky for me, I found a sweet deal on all these off-brand EV3 cables. All right, so we've got the mechanics ready. Now we need to work on the code. Okay, so we got our robot hand. I have some test code already, so I think I just need to add this together. And this will be super fun, yeah. Couple broke off, it's good though. Download and run. Stop. Yeah, I know an unexpected error. Okay, it didn't work. The thumb broke off. Nice. All right, I think we got the coding finished, but there's one last issue, and that's that these things I'm supposed to put on my fingers every time are super annoying and don't really work. They're always at an angle, and that's gonna mess us up. So I'm thinking, what if I take our other mechanical hand and then just put all these on top of that and attach these back to this like it was before? I think that'll probably work better, and since we used up all the stickers from last time, we'll just use tape. I think if we just add that, that should go in there like so. All right, I think we have all these mounted. Let's see if this thing still works. Look at that, guys. One of them is gonna go in my palm, and that'll make it so we can read like this motion. To the final step, we got all the mechanics done. We just need to make this thing look a lot cooler, separate the fingers because they're rubbing on each other and breaking. Let's test it out. All right, guys, this is it, the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm gonna turn these on. So to put it on, you slide your fingers in, and then you put your thumb in, like that. All right, check this out. Thumb. Yo, guys, look at that. That's so cool. That's awesome, yo. Check this out. I can point. I can do thumbs up. Kinda. Practicality uses? Not many. I mean, it is literally super cool just watching all the fingers open and close. Like, this is the glove, and this does exactly what the glove does. So the motor in the bottom turns it like this. Unfortunately, that also turns the thumb, but that's just because we ran out of slots. But that mimics roughly the rotation of your hand. Glove's a little janky, not gonna lie. Make a fist, make a not fist, point. Thumb opens and closes, see, using this key right there. And then it also moves up and down, so you can get different gestures in. The Spider-Man, okay. Let's see if we can grab a battery box here. I doubt it. This thing does roughly what your hand's doing, give or take a couple degrees, so I'd say that's a huge success and a big thumbs up. That's super cool. So since I'm a Lego inventor, I'm gonna spend the next 2 weeks building a bunch of Lego contraptions and robots to help me prepare the food in the kitchen. I've created this robot here, the Pizza Assembler 5000. Complete with an automatic sauce dispenser, cheese dump, pepperoni shooter, and a slow spinning base to turn the pizza crusts I built using a worm gear assembly. It should be capable of assembling some delicious pizzas. So the way this thing works is really cool. First, we have to fill up the sauce mechanism here. And some of it's gonna drip out, but not all of it because it's a good sauce mechanism. Then we gotta load up our cheese in our dump truck here. We just kinda eyeball it here. We could just be doing this on the pizza, but no, we gotta do it into the robot, and then the robot can make the pizza. And then here we have our partially baked pizza crust. So we're gonna put this on our spinning mechanism. And we gotta load our pepperonis in here. These guys go right in there. If I switch this button on the battery box here, we can actually start turning it, and this little thing will mash all our ingredients down. It'll be perfect. Uh-oh. Ooh, I didn't think about that. So we'll start with the sauce. That'll open the little valve there, and we'll just let that drip on for a few minutes until it gets nice and saucy. It's kind of making art. I don't know how the sauce is gonna get to the middle. But we have our sauce on there. Now we'll add our cheese. And for that, I'm gonna hit one button here, and the cheese is gonna dump down from the top. Bam. That was the wrong button. This button. There we go, there's our cheese. A little shakes off the rest of it there. We're just gonna kinda mix this up a little. Get some marinara on the inside. Oh, that's good. Okay, now our pepperoni. I'm gonna hit our motor control. Let's see. Oh, they're flying out. Oh, we're missing the pizza. Can we go a little slower? All right, well, we missed our pizza, but I think it shoots them a little too well. Guys, I gotta say, these are the best functioning machines I think I've ever built. You can stop now, please stop. And now the final thing that this does is it actually pushes the pizza off. There we go. And this guy will go right into the oven for about 30 minutes. 6 minutes. Look at that, guys. Lego made pizza. I'm going to build a Lego robot that makes me coffee because I'm too lazy to make it myself. So, we need to build a robot out of Lego that will attach onto the coffee machine. We need 4 motors, one to open this, one to disperse water into the back of this, another one to scoop in coffee grounds, and then a final motor that will engage a little button that turns it on and brews your coffee. And this should all happen at like 7 a.m. when I'm still asleep. Okay, so step 1, we need to find a way to pump the water out of this bottle into this reservoir in the back of the coffee machine without using anything but Lego. And this bottle that isn't like, it's fine. We're gonna actually use pneumatics for this. So here you can see I have a pneumatic pump, and we're going to drill 2 holes in the top of this bottle cap. Like that. And then, watch this, guys. We put this in here. Make sure the one that's putting the air in is above the water, obviously. So then, if we hook this up to this.
Wow, we've created a water pump.
So now we just need this to percolate into the back of the machine, and we just need to make a quick little motorized pneumatic pump. A little gear here. Perfect. Now we just need to hook up this water bottle and see if it actually works. That's pretty cool, you guys. That's pretty sick. I've never made one of these before, so there's the idea. So now we have a water pump. So this will all be hooked up to the Lego EV3, which we have right here. And this thing is going to control it. We can put in custom programming and have it all go in synchrony. So now we need to build the arm that opens and closes this little thing right here. Okay, so how do we attach this to a thingy that brings it back? We might have to use a string that is attached to this inner part here. Okay, let's try this. We're gonna need a better way to connect this. We're gonna use duct tape. I feel like now is a great time to point out, this isn't my coffee machine. Okay, please work. I know what to do. What is wrong with this surface? I think that should work good. Beautiful. Now we need to build a base that goes all the way around, and then we need to build the scooper. So we have here this little space piece. It was from like Star Wars or something. We're gonna actually use this for the scoop that will put the coffee in. All we need is a little hinging mechanism on the side, just like that. It'll actually put the coffee in. Perfect. So in order for this to not fling coffee grounds everywhere, the plan is that we have it like this on the side of the machine. Machine's right here. And then we have it go super fast, and then it has a little stop in the programming. So hopefully, we're gonna fill this up with coffee grounds. Hopefully the coffee grounds won't go everywhere. We stop this right here at my finger. It'll have a hard stop and it'll just poof, right down into the filter. Speaking of which, the filter's already gonna be in there because there's too many robot arms. Now to install that. Okay, perfect. Now we just need to build a button on the front. Ouch. Just goes there. There's no way this thing actually pushes the button. It's going to be the loosest thing. There's no, like, you would have to swing. I guess I could do it. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Motor control. Hey, it worked. Look, guys, the light's turning on and off. That's perfect. Okay, so the next step, now that we have all of the mechanics done, we're gonna take our EV3 brick and do some simple programming. Please enjoy the next 15-second montage of me coding this. And don't click out. And don't skip ahead, because it's worth watching, trust me. Okay, so we've opened up a new project here. The first thing it needs to do is open the lid. So let's grab that motor. Let's just go 5 rotations, 75% speed. So 5 rotations opens the lid, which is great. So we need the coffee grounds to go in next. It is so dark in here. So let's just grab this same thing and we'll call it C. Let's run it for 0.5 rotations at 20% speed. So it's B, it's not C. I was lied to. B. Perfect. 20% speed is really fast. Let's go 10% speed. We need to see how long it takes for the water in this bottle to, empty out into this. So that way we know how long to run the motor. Okay. Okay. 1 minute, 46 seconds, and you can see all the water has transferred into this cup. And I think now we're good to put it into the program. All right, so I have a theory, and my theory is that this old scoop that we had up here will actually, just go everywhere and not work. So I have this new idea. It's a new concept I like to call gyroscope thing. And so we attach this so that it flips over, and the thing is always holding the coffee. When it gets to about here, a little string will tug, and it'll tug, and then this side will go whoosh, and dump the coffee in. That is my plan. Now I just have to build it, and hopefully that will work. We're 2 hours and 10 minutes in. That should solve that problem that I did not want to try to test out. Here's my system. We have our coffee grounds, and as soon as this motor turns, all we're doing is turning the motor. Check this out. It stays up until it hits here, and then it tips. That is pretty darn cool. And what's making it tip is just this string, so it has to tip when it gets to there, but anywhere else it is just level. Okay, let's pick coffee. We should move that scoop like this far forward, but then I need a coffee mug. I think it's working out, guys. It's putting the water in there, and then it's gonna hit the button. I'm excited. Let's freaking go, dude. Let's freaking go. It's nothing like seeing something like this to really just start your morning. Looks like coffee to me, you guys. I don't know. Now the question, does it taste like crap? That's the question. Get some creamer, I guess. All right, pour ourselves some coffee. A few grounds in there. That's to be expected because it literally spilled it everywhere. That's fine. Some creamer. It's not bad. We can make the scoop a little bigger. It needs a little more coffee, but... Hey, Ella, wanna try my robot coffee?
Wait, what's in this?
It's just cream and sugar. It's coffee. What does it taste like?
Coffee.
Nice. I didn't get to need the rest of that thing. That was my sister. Guys, should you hack your coffee machine with Lego motors and spend 3 hours and 25 minutes doing it so that you can save 10 minutes the next day? Heck yeah, you should. That was freaking awesome. I'm a Lego inventor, and I've always wished I had lightning fast reflexes. Unfortunately, I'm not the Flash. So the plan is to build a Lego helmet with an automatic protection system that can hopefully react faster than I can. The way we're gonna do this is using an EV3 and these Lego sound sensors that should allow us to put in an adjustable decibel range so that we can sense when something dangerous is about to happen. So it'll pretty much be like Spider-Man's spider sense, and it'll sense things. For example, the sound a toy blaster makes when it fires, or when something explodes on my table when I'm working, which happens like way more often than you'd think. So the first thing I need to do is build a Lego helmet to mount this thing to. All right, we're gonna start with layer plates. We'll put a big one at the middle and right here, and then we just gotta connect all these with these joints. Perfect, so now we have a bendy thing that we can just match to our head like this, and now we have part of a helmet shape. So now we just need to take this, flatten it out again, and then we add 2 of these on each side. Now we need a bunch of 2x4 plates. We're just gonna put them here and here. Then we're gonna take 2 more of these hinges, put them on the edges, and put 2 more like that. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, how do you take this flat thing and make it into a helmet? I'm about to show you. We're gonna use these. Then we'll go to the edge of this like this. I'm gonna put this right here. Then we can bend it, and now you can see we have a bent shape. Now we just gotta do this all the way around with the same pieces and lock everything together with a layer of plates. This is a technique that Nick Brick came up with, and I kind of riffed off of it till I got something that looked like what I wanted it to, but he is the original creator of the helmet mixel joint technique. And now we have our helmet template. So now we can put this on, and anything we want to attach to our head, like our eye protection system, we can attach to this. So we can add the designs on top of this later, but we just need the base to work with. So the next thing we need to do is figure out how to code the sensor so that it activates a motor. So when there's a loud pop noise or something, it'll activate the motor that will flip down and bring the visor like this. So we need to figure that out. All right, so we're recording this at 30 frames per second. So the moment my finger comes in contact with this, it'll make a sound like, and then we'll count how many frames it takes for this to go 45 degrees and cover your face, and we'll call it. So at 30 frames per second, it took around 3 frames from the sound of my finger tapping the sensor to the motor turning 90 degrees. And since we know that there's 30 frames in a second when you're shooting at 30 frames per second, and in real time there's 1,000 milliseconds in a second, we can do the math that 3 frames is 10% of 30. And then we can take that same percentage to 1,000 milliseconds and get around 100 milliseconds. And then if I measure how fast I can close my eyes, or my reaction time, we can see that the robot is faster by at least 50 milliseconds. Those numbers might be a little bit off because I'm not fantastic at math and didn't go down to the decimal, but I'm really, really confident that it's faster than a human. Or just me, because I'm clearly slower than a bullet. Conclusive evidence. All right, so now that I've proved that this can actually react faster than a human, we need to build a mechanism that will go right here. We'll have 3 motors, 2 on the sides, and they will flip down onto your face. We also have to mount this somewhere on this. That doesn't look like super awkward, so we'll figure that out. Okay, we need to have a couple sticks that come out like this. This is gonna look super stupid, but I think it's gonna be more efficient because we're gonna have multi-directional sensing. We need to bulk this up a little bit. Damn, how do we connect that? I have no idea. Like that, somehow. I'm thinking if we just use these, connect this. And now this thing sticks right here. This is gonna look so stupid, but it's probably gonna work really well, so I'm okay with it. Let's add the others. So if this goes on my head, this thing will need to go right here. I imagine this looking so much cooler. That'll mount in the center like that. Now that that looks incredibly stupid, we can add everything to the back, which we connect to this. Now we gotta mount the motors on here. We're gonna mount one motor right here. That'll bring down the main face protection. And then we're gonna mount one here and the other one right here. I just wanna say, this is not the most efficient way to find out if a projectile's coming. I could've used cameras.
That's pretty much it. I could've used cameras.
But I didn't because LEGO doesn't make Mindstorm's cameras. And the only one they do make is like a piece of trash. So we're using sound. We use 2 of those. This thing should be able to mount right there. And now we have our first motor. That's good. Okay, and then we can just put the other one. Okay, how awkward is this? It's awesome.
I feel super secure right now. I feel like my face is already super safe.
Lies. Now we just gotta plug these in. Okay, now we have 3 motors, 3 sensors, and hopefully a working thing. Program is this? I had it working, I did. All right guys, so I've literally been trying to fix the code for over an hour, and I finally got it to work by adding some if-then things into there. Check this out, I'm gonna put it on. Looks kinda dumb, but it's gonna look a lot cooler with the clear eye protection that folds down. Yo, okay, so that's the front. Okay, so now that we got the electronics all working and tested, we need to build the goggles that are actually going to flip down. We're gonna have 3 different sections, one on the right side, which will flip in like this, one on the left side, flip in like this, and then the one in the middle, which will flip down like this. So, how does that fit? I don't know, I guess we'll see. Now, we need to attach this to this. The thing is, I also don't want this to, you know, go like this and break off and hit me in the eye anyway, because then this thing is completely useless. We're just prototyping, guys. We're just trying to make it kind of work at the moment, but I think this will. It's this one. The issue is this is too heavy, and in the programming, I made sure, oh, shoot. Okay, so I'm gonna have to remove that one from the programming. Because in the programming, I made it so that if this one isn't reset to 0 degrees, none of them will work. Because I was having an issue where they would just keep going over and over again. Maybe it's that this thing's touching it. Ow. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is how the program works. The first thing it does is reset the counters on all 3 motors. That means they'll all be at 0 degrees. The next thing it does is chooses between 3 different sequences. The first sequence asks if this mic has a loud noise greater than 20 decibels or 20%. If it does, it will make sure all 3 of these motors are set to 0 to keep it from, you know, smacking me in the face. Except for A, this one right here, which needs to be at least less than 8 degrees because it'll never reset to 0 because this little visor thing is so heavy. And then it basically just does the motor movements and waits a second and does the opposite so that they open back up. These other 2 work pretty much the same. Basically, if this side is louder than this side, these 2 will flop down.
Where if this one's louder, these 2 will flop down.
I really hope this works. Okay, now the final stretch to make this thing look actually cool, and then we can finally test it and see if it's possible that I could have stopped a bullet shot from a toy blaster. So. Guys, we've just completed it. I'm super excited to test this, but I'm also a little scared because I don't really trust my inventing skills very much. I guess it's time to test. All right, here we go. Do not do this. Always wear eye protection if you're using toy blasters. Seriously, it can be painful. And I'm not stupid enough to put all my faith in this Lego invention that I made in like 4 hours. Guys, welcome to the stage, Brian. He's here because I'm too scared to wear this. That's pretty much it. We're gonna test this thing. Let's turn it on and put these into their open position. And we're gonna see if from like 20 feet away, we can stop or protect against a toy blaster bullet. So, I guess we're ready. I'm gonna go all the way over here. As you can see, we are pretty far away in the studio. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I completely missed, but here we go. I'm gonna aim better this time. 3, 2, 1. No way! No freaking way! No way! You're kidding me! I think that actually worked. Wait, we have to replay that footage because that was, if that worked, that's insane. It actually hit the visor. Dude, that is insane. You can see it. You can see it. That's captured right there. That's it bouncing off. Bam. Bounced right off the visor. Dude, that is insane. I am literally like so impressed right now. I had no idea if this thing would actually work. I literally can't believe this worked. I'm gonna shoot a slow-mo shot with sound just so you guys can actually see. It's working, it has some issues, obviously it has some flaws. I'm gonna actually test it on my head using some poppets on the table in front of me to see if a loud sound will actually protect my face from anything. But yeah, it just needs a couple little bug fixes, you know. Hey! It worked. Wow. Hey guys, it worked. That's scary. It's working really well.
I feel so safe in this thing.
It needs to be better tuned because when I'm talking, it thinks I'm really loud, so I have to turn the decibel range up. Ah! I'm okay. This This also has a really cool function that's still work in progress, just like the whole thing. If I snap on this side, these two come down. But if I snap on this side, guys, this thing is super sick. It obviously has some issues, but I think it works well enough to get the point across. It kind of makes you wonder though, was it actually worth it? If I just put on something like these glasses, I have constant eye protection. However, I think in the scenario of me getting shot in the eye with the toy blaster, this thing would have been really, really handy. This thing has like a 70% success rate right now-ish, and there were several times where it actually didn't activate because of an issue with this. So it obviously needs some work, but the concept's there, and that is what's super cool about this. I play Minecraft all the time, and one of my favorite minigames to play is actually on a server called Hypixel, and it's called Bed Wars. And I'm pretty bad at it. Now, most people would just download an auto clicker or use hacks because they're cheaters, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to actually build a Lego robot auto clicker that will click a mouse up to like 5,000 CPS. And then I'm going to PvP some actual Minecraft YouTubers, including fellow inventor Helix, who just built a drag clicking keyboard with insane CPS on his channel. And I'm doing all this to prove once and for all that cheating does not make you better at the game. But first, we need to actually build this thing. So here's the plan. We have a perfectly good computer mouse, which, you know, clicks and stuff, but it's kind of trash. So then we went ahead and bought a gaming mouse, which is a Red Dragon 1200, 4000, what? So the plan is we're gonna have this mouse be the one that, like, you know, you use for bridging and placing blocks and stuff. This mouse will be the one that we put the auto clicker on top of, and so we'll have a robot that when you push a button on this mouse that we're gonna add to it, it'll go just like that, except like 100 times faster, and it's gonna be pretty sick. So what we have here is a button sensor, and once you press this, it'll send a signal through the brain, which is this big thing right here, and the brain will send a signal to the motor to actually spin super fast. It's a little slow, so we're gonna need to ramp it up with some gears, but you get the point. We need to build a spinny thing that will convert rotational motion into linear motion. Look at that, now we have rotational to linear motion. So this thing just hit the keyboard a bunch of times, but we have to make it spin faster. This is how cars work. Somewhere inside a car, there's that. Puts that in there. You can see if I just click regularly, this is my CPS. 7, my CPS is 7, I'm ashamed. Let's check the CPS with this now. Wow, that is miserable. Okay, so with one gear, we get 4 CPS. Now let's add another segment. Little gear right here. Now if we spin this one, you can see it spins a lot faster. We are getting, what do we got now? 11.8, so that's still pretty garbage. Let's add a third and see if we can multiply that again. Aha, look at that. Oh gosh, that's actually way faster. Look, you can see like how fast each gear spins. So let me just plug this in. Yo, actually we hit like 32 CPS. So we have our gaming mouse, and this will sit essentially like right here. And I built like this like frame already here. So essentially we just need it to not fall like that. Okay, we're gonna need to put some braces under there. Lock all that together. Yo, it actually fits, guys. Let's go. Okay, so this holds it pretty tight, and now we just need to attach this right here so it vibrates the front of the mouse and goes like that. Perfect. Now, I think we just take this, slap it on there. Look at that, guys. That's beautiful. Now, obviously, we need to make this look prettier, but that's fine. I'm thinking we like add some like little decorative little thingies. Okay, we added our decorative pieces. Is that working? What am I missing? All right, so here is what we have. And you can see when we hit this button, this is on the motor testing thing. Hit that, this motor spins and clicks that super fast. How fast is yet to be determined. We can also see that it doesn't really click all the way. So we're gonna add a little piece right there. In my testing, this piece has worked really well. And it just adds enough. You can hear that. Oh yeah. You can see that actually clicking. And you can see all the gears and everything are working, and it's all in one thing. And Bob claims that his mouse sounds like a machine gun. So with our other mouse, we want to have an easy way to actually connect. I'm thinking the easiest way to do this is to have like a little lever. So we mount this to the front of the mouse and then it like hinges. And then on this thing, we need to make a little button hinge. That's perfect. If we mount this to the front, then we can hit it with our thumb like that. Now we actually just have to attach it to this mouse. The only way to do this is to use glue. Like it's literally the only way. Hot glue though, so it does come off. Now we just have to wait for this to warm up. Update, it's not warmed up yet. Now sounds like a great time to tell you guys about my Twitter account and my Instagram, both linked in the description. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter because I'll be doing some cool stuff. Like I share behind the scenes stuff a lot, especially like builds that I need help with. I share that a lot, so follow me on there. Is this warmed up yet? Once we get this whole thing done, we actually have to make like a quick video for Twitter and like the rest of the internet because we need this thing to actually go viral. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to PvP any Minecraft YouTubers and I kinda need to. Oh yeah, it's done, okay. And we're using hot glue, which does come off easily, so that's good if we ever need to use this for something else. But now, you see if we just take our thumb, we can do that, and we can still use the mouse around the table. This will plug into the other mouse. And now we just need to wait for this to cool and go on to the last step. All right, so the next step is we have to do some really simple programming on this. We just need to make it so when we push this button, the auto clicker turns on. When we release this button, it turns off. So we have it all hooked up here. I'm in this program called Scratch. So when program starts, we want a forever block and wait until the button is pressed, start motor at 100% speed, wait until released, and then stop motor. So theoretically, if we do this, so that went extremely fast. There's our simple program. Now we just have to make a quick clip of this and hope that it goes viral. Yeah, come on, it's gotta work, right? Literally no one replied. I got 1 like and they didn't even reply. So then I went around the Discord community. I checked out a bunch of Minecraft YouTubers' Discords. We have a bridging YouTuber who does mainly speed bridging and stuff. His name is Derpled. And while trying to find people, I actually discovered a really cool channel called Helix. I'm actually going to PvP him with my Lego auto clicker mouse, and he's going to be using a 100 CPS drag clicking keyboard. Now, it's PvP time. Was that too dramatic? I feel like that was a little dramatic. It's fine, we're gonna Okay, so we have 2 YouTubers to PvP. But before that, I wanna actually test this on my friends to see what they think of it, and also just show you guys how bad of a player I actually am. So here we go. All right, so now I'm here with my friend Christian from Brick Convention, and he's actually pretty good at the game, so. Guys, look at that CPS. we're hitting 42 CPS. Okay, that's pretty cool. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. You can do this. Yes. Wait, how low are you? Well, obviously, no, that was a dumb
I mean, I
one.
obviously was dead, but how low were you?
I was at like, what was that, 5 hearts? Got me down to 5. Guys, go check out Brick Convention's channel. Link down in the description. He's a cool guy. Guys, his Ty, he has a YouTube channel with like 120,000 subs.
Yes, sir.
He's my friend. I hit him now. Okay, sorry.
Go.
I start running before you did.
Hold
How
still.
many gaps did you eat?
I only ate 1. Oh, no. Oh,
GG.
GG, dude. That was pretty good, man.
You're a good PvPer. Guys, go check out TD Brick's channel. Link in the description.
Wow, well, thank you for joining. Special chickens, I appreciate it. Much love.
Of course.
Appreciation. Oh!
So with that out of the way, it's finally time to PvP a YouTuber. We're gonna do the first PvP with Derpled on a private server. I'm kind of nervous. Guys, we're here with the one and only YouTuber Derpled, and he's pretty sick. Welcome, Derpled.
Yeah, I can click fast.
Yes, he can. He can also
Probably-
bridge fast.
Yeah,
really.
I can probably click faster than your auto clicker.
I believe it, actually. Let's just do a round without the auto clicker first, and we'll see like your skills versus my non-auto clicker skills.
I see, okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Go. Okay,
Gosh, you're so good.
oh, there's eyes here? That's kind of cool, I'd say. Oh my god, my gap will... No!
Oh, you got
close,
me,
close.
GG.
Ooh, that was kind of
Remember.
actually like close. Taking in how much like Minecraft I play like once a week. And like
Does that mean-
sometimes,
You saying that I'm actually not trash?
yeah. Oh no.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm just gonna eat the god apple and I'm ready.
I'm also ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Here we go.
Epic 1v1.
Oh gosh, this is this close.
Yeah. But the thing about Minecraft PvP, it's like movement based, not really like a lot of CPS. It's like I can like, yeah, I've done 4.
GG. This is why you don't cheat, guys, because it doesn't make you better.
CPS is
Nice,
not
GG.
everything.
That's true. Yeah, you're more skilled than I am. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's. Oh.
That's legit, you guys. He's not hacking. That's legit, like his CPS.
I'm just good.
You are really good.
Oh, there's a hole
GG.
in the- Easy. Okay.
That was insane. He's actually really good at the game. He's really good at bridging, which I guess I shouldn't be surprised. He has like a ton of videos on like bridging with 2 CPS. Guys, go check him out. Thanks, Derpold, for PvPing me. Now it is time for the moment you've all been waiting for. We're gonna PvP Helix, and he has just built a 100 CPS drag clicking keyboard. But real quick, since I know I'm gonna get a ton of comments on this, I just wanna address the definition of cheating is to act dishonestly in order to gain an unfair advantage in a game or an examination. Now, since we both know that the other person has made something really cool and we wanna test them out, this is not cheating. However, do not go on the server and use hacks. Cheating on any Minecraft server is just not good, especially to gain an unfair advantage. Just don't do that. We're just doing this to test it out and just to see which one is better. With that out of the way,
No way! Is it the actual brick science?
is it Helix? Oh my gosh.
Are you familiar with like what reducing is?
Oh, no, I'm not.
So what reducing
Yes,
it is, it's a mechanic of Minecraft. So if both opponents get enough CPS and hit each other at the same time, almost all the knockback is reduced. So basically, you just have to hit at the same time as me in like short bursts. So you would go like boom, boom, and boom. Yeah.
No? Okay.
Just keep your aim straight. Do not move your mouse.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, that was one.
Oh, I see that. Okay.
Yeah, you see? Let's go. Keyboard versus auto clicker.
Yeah. Keyboard
Oh.
versus Lego. What did you engineer that out of? Like, you said acrylic or something?
We just did it.
Oh, we
Did you
did
see
it. That
that?
was sick. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I made the keyboard out of like acrylic, like the machine parts.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's so cool. We're both floating.
Let me have you fight an NPC. Those are easier.
Yay. Everybody's like simping for you. 43 CPS. He's looking behind him. Not my chance.
You are literally floating, dude.
Dude, this is literally insane. I've never seen I had no idea this existed. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah, it's a mechanic of Minecraft.
Guys,
Yo,
Helix just taught me how to float over the void. No way! Guys, make sure you check out Helix's video on his channel because he made a drag-clicking keyboard. I'll link it down in the description.
100 CPS this time.
So was I victorious against actual YouTubers by building a robot to try and cheat at the game? No, I really wasn't. So guys, in the end, I just want you to know, cheating isn't good. Don't cheat. Let's just be more honest in our gameplays, you know? If you want to learn PvP, actually practice PvP. Minecraft YouTubers don't get to where they are by downloading hacks and cheating. They actually learned how to do this stuff and how to be good at it, and I respect it. This is a Lego robot that can cheat at Minecraft. And this is me and my friend Christian going head to head in a series of challenges to see who can be the most efficient at the game, man or Lego machine. But before I show you all that, we need to actually build a Lego robot that can do these things. So step 1, we need to automate these controls right here. The goal is to add a bunch of Lego motors to my keyboard and mouse and make it so most of the Minecraft controls can be programmed to work. And since each challenge is going to be getting more and more difficult, we're gonna be adding and implementing different controls. We grab our EV3 here, grab our motor, maybe attach a few of these like that. Let's build a rotational to linear actuator. We're basically trying to convert the rotational motion into a linear motion that we can use for our pressing motion. We have a little tapping motion like that. Now this just needs to hit the mouse right here on the front. Depending on where it's mounted, it works pretty well. However, we do want to give this the capability to go faster than that. So we're gonna add a gear ratio and check this out. That goes a bit faster now. We can actually make this spin a lot slower, but now it has the capability to spin faster. Now we just gotta build a frame to mount this above here. All right, we're gonna just put that on the other side. Perfect. Now we just have to simply program our EV3 to do that automatically. And then we can do the first challenge. Before we do the first challenge, let me give you a quick run through of what the code for this is gonna look like. Since we're gonna be adding more servos as we go to control different buttons, it's gonna be pretty simple. Say I need to place a block. All I need to do is know what server is plugged into the place block button, which is plugged into A. So I'm gonna go into my program here. We're gonna have A run clockwise for 1 rotation. Now, if you want to walk or if you want to jump or shift or anything like that, you just add that in here with weight blocks in between, so you have a sequence of different moves. I'm gonna have to code these challenges before I actually am able to do them. That's basically how the code for this entire project is gonna work. It's like way simpler than you would think. Now we can start the first challenge. All right, guys, so we are here in Minecraft. We're gonna be doing a bunch of challenges versus my friend Christian. He has actually designed a huge lab, and he's gonna take me to it.
In order to get to the lab, we have to go through the safe house, which is a swamp house in the middle of the wood.
Whoa, dude, this is actually super sick.
So over here is the closet.
Yay! Whoa, dude, you did a really incredible job.
Thanks.
Perfect timing.
Welcome to Brick Science Laboratories.
Wow, huge room.
Our first test is basically a fishing test, where we're going to test out the robot versus my abilities to fish.
All right, what do you say, like 3 minutes?
Yes.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. So basically, I'm auto-clicking the right-click button, which is constantly reeling in fish if they come up, and also putting my reel back out there. Check out Taffy's tutorial linked in the description. He actually built these fishing farms. I'm actually controlling the Minecraft guy with this mouse, but this one is doing all the clicking. 3, 2, 1. Let's see who got the most.
All right, I got 8.
I got 6. GG.
GG.
So the first challenge goes to humans, but I'm gonna go back and build another appendage that'll hopefully be a lot better. Okay, so the next buttons we're gonna add to make this even more human-like, we're just gonna add another one of these, and that will actually click the left click. So let's build another. All right, so we basically built another one like this. So if this one went here, like that, theoretically, we could do that. Then all we should have to do is just something like this. Looks like it works to me. So we got right click and left click, which is absolutely perfect because now we can click the left click button and the right click button. So now we have that.
The next challenge is a farming challenge, and for this challenge, we have 3 minutes to gather as much wheat as possible.
So guys, I now have 2 appendages on this thing. So as we're placing the wheat, we can break it. And I've already had to go through all these and code it. So I've already seen all these. So I'm gonna go to wheat farm. You wanna do for 3 minutes?
Sure.
I'm gonna start this program. In 3, 2, 1, go. So guys, as you can see, the left click button that actually breaks the seed is only going every like 0.5 seconds, and then this one is just constantly placing. And you can program that basically however you want to automate different things in Minecraft. This is just for this farm. How we doing, Christian?
We are doing good. At 16 wheat already.
Wow. 2, 1.
Wow, quite a bit.
All right. Wow, we did a lot. I'm curious.
Ooh,
Yes.
close.
It's not
Hey,
close.
GG.
You're like 40 away.
All right, fine then.
GG. All right, guys, so the robot won that challenge. I'm gonna actually build some more appendages so we can do more stuff in the game. So we need to automate the A and D keys, which are side by side. I have a super easy way to do this that I just thought of. We're literally gonna just take this piece, and we're gonna put this white piece right there. Now watch this. Pretty simple. Now we just gotta mount this above the keyboard and plug it into our EV3. No, I don't. Guys, tell me that isn't perfect. Let's actually just do the next challenge before I break something for real.
The next challenge is in the forge.
Yo, this is sick.
So these are basically stone generators. When you look up, you can see there's stone here, and we can basically just break these really quickly.
We're gonna see how many blocks this machine can mine. So 3 minutes, let's see. We got the little liner upper. Hands off the controls in 3, 2, go. It's going from side to side. It's not making it to that one on the end, so probably should go a little farther, but you know, it's getting all the inner side ones. I added these little Lego gun pieces to actually push down on the controls all the way. And then over here, you can see this is actually holding down the clicking button.
Nice.
How you doing? You getting tired?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm not.
I had to itch my nose a couple times.
Oh. 5, 4,
Oh
3,
no!
2. I just want to point out that my robot didn't get kicked.
It was too powerful.
419.
I got 356.
So I did about 60 more blocks than you. So challenge number 3 goes to the Lego robot. I totally thought you'd be doing better. Wow, that sounded bad. I totally thought you'd be mining more because you had the ability to run.
I mean, your setup can do it for an infinite amount of time, and I cannot, because I am mere mortal.
I'll have to add the next appendage to the robot. So the next key we need to automate is the space bar. I don't actually know how to do that, but I was thinking it'd be really cool if we build a mechanism and we actually have Steve on top of it that actually jumps up and down. This is really a lot easier than it seems. You just take a motor, you figure out what you want to push, in this case the space bar, and you attach some sort of lift arm. Now we literally just attach these to here, and we line it up with the keyboard. To mount Steve to this, we can use a piece such as this, and just stick him on like that. Now Steve jumps. Not really, but you know, it's whatever. Now we gotta mount this to this thing. Let's build a little frame around the bottom of this to make it easier to actually attach more stuff. So the next step is to build another one of these buttons for forward and backwards, but since that's kind of crowded, we're just gonna put another one of these right here. This frame is really awesome because you can just connect whatever you want to it. We're gonna go into Minecraft settings and change these keys here to actually be these forward and backwards buttons. Then we can control this motor, which will just send us forward and backwards. All right, so we are off to the next challenge, maze.
No, don't go through the laser field. Yeah, turn it off.
I got really excited there, I'm sorry. Oh.
So this is the maze. So our objective is to make it through the maze, obtain one log from the tree, and then make it out of the maze in the quickest amount of time.
Cool, so challenge 4, getting wood. Christian's gonna go first and actually run through it, and then we're gonna compare both of our times.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. And he's gonna mine the wood. And he's gonna run back. Okay, you lagged a bit there, but you got 8.3. That's gonna be a very hard time to beat with the robot. So it's going to run through, the mouse is going to break it, and then it's gonna go backwards in 3, 2, 1, go. Walking forward, going sideways. It's working, it's working. I'm breaking the tree, nice, and that'll release, and now I'm walking backwards through the maze. Come on, boom.
14.27 seconds.
14.2, that's terrible. Okay, so this robot's a little bit slower than the actual human version of Christian. GG, Christian.
Through here, we have a couple challenges set up. First, this button, it'll give you a bow, and this will be for the Archery challenge. And this is for the Zombie Wave challenge.
I'll let you go first and demonstrate, and I'll time you, and then you can time me, and we'll see who comes out with the fastest time.
Sure. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. That was 4.26 seconds. Now my robot can't actually turn the mouse to actually move, and it also can't aim because there's no camera system. So what the machine's actually going to do, for the middle one, I'm going to actually jump and then shoot it in midair, which would be super cool. Go. Drawing back, jump, release. Got the first one, drawing back, release. And the third one, boom.
8.39 seconds.
That's like double yours. GG, man.
GG.
Next one is zombie survival. When you die, the timer ends. So here we go. Go. He's off. He's killing the first ones. I really hope he gets overpowered.
Bye, no!
54.6 seconds, dude. I'm gonna set my thing to auto-click over here, so it's gonna go super fast.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Auto-clicker's running. And now I can sit back and hopefully survive longer. Please work. There's zombies behind me and in front of me now. Come on, robot, you can do this. Come on. Dead. How long did I survive?
41.38 seconds.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. Dude, I didn't do that much worse. Like, for the robot doing all of it, like, I feel like you should have survived a little longer, but...
GG, man. You still beat the robot.
GG.
We actually have one more challenge, but we gotta add another appendage first. I'm also gonna program it to be able to hit the shift key. For the shift key, I'm gonna simply mount a motor right here, and on top of that, we're gonna use something like, that will go we're gonna add this little thing on here. That will go right there. And on there like that. Okay, let's get another EV3 and plug all of these in. So with that, we are on to our final challenge against Christian. Let's do it. The final challenge.
The final challenge was designed by Brick Science himself.
So we have Parkour here. I'm just gonna say, this was the hardest thing to program for the robot because I had to go through a bunch of variations. I think I might be able to get it just a little bit faster time than Christian. I have my shift key programmed. I have all the keys basically needed to play Minecraft, except for moving the mouse around. I think you should go first.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1, go. And he's jumping, and he's on the pillars, and 7.8 seconds. I have to beat that with my Lego robot, so here's hoping. Oh, he just straight up exploded.
Yeah, sorry, I went off with a little bit of a bang. Go.
All right, going, shifting. Nice, jump. Oh, I hit the water at the last second. Here we go. Christian, are you ready?
Yes. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, we're going, shifting, jumping. Nice. Boom.
Hey.
What'd I get?
7.8 seconds.
Dude, you got 7.82 seconds.
What?
That was within probably 0.2 of a second, so we're gonna actually go through the footage and see who had the best time. But that was like extremely close. You won, man. GG. Pleasure playing.
GG.
In the end, we won 2 out of 7 challenges. Is this technically cheating? Maybe. Like, I put in the skill to program this and build it. Technically, yeah, it's cheating. So since I'm a Lego inventor, I'm gonna spend the next 2 weeks building a bunch of Lego contraptions and robots to help me prepare the food in the kitchen. So to make our burgers, we have a griddle that's very hot, wow. And I'm gonna lay these guys on here. And then, since we wanna actually season the burgers, I have this guy, which is a seasoning gun. And we're gonna actually attach our seasoning in the form of these Lego salt and pepper shakers. And then we have our spices here. And all we gotta do is just turn this guy on, and it seasons. Come on now. It's supposed to come out a little faster. Maybe the rotating motion wasn't the best idea. You just gotta shake it a little bit as you're spinning it. We'll give those guys a few minutes. And then to actually flip these, I've built this burger flipper, which is kind of cool. It just uses a simple mechanism I built with rubber bands to build up potential energy. So when you trigger the motor, it pulls out a pin, and all of that energy is released, slamming down into the spatula, causing it to hopefully flip our burgers. There we are. We got a minute 30 left on those guys. Get a couple of our buns here. Ketchup and mustard. And now it was just a waiting game until the burgers finished cooking. And our burgers are done, so we gotta flip these guys. I also realized that since this is a double griddle, we don't actually have to flip them, but we're gonna do it anyway. Slide him under there, and I'm gonna use this little thing here to pull the trigger. Hey, it worked! Let's go. All right, the burger flipper actually works. We're gonna use this to build our burgers here. Put a little bit of lettuce so it's healthy. I'm gonna just do a little design to make it Lego themed. I'm gonna see if I can make a perfect block. And we got our burgers ready to go. So as a YouTuber, I get a lot of comments. And not surprisingly at all, a few of them are hate comments. But I had an idea to build a Lego robot that replies to these hate comments, but it replies with phrases that are like kind or funny, instead of like returning full force like, no, you are so mean. A lot of the times I reply to these and I'm just like, wow, thank you so much. And maybe it'll just leave them confused, or they'll be like, what? This guy's happy even if I'm making fun of him? He must have Jesus. So today I'm gonna be building a Lego robot that will reply to these hate comments. It'll be programmed to type different letters on the keyboard to make up different phrases that are either something extremely funny or profoundly kind. The plan is to build a 3-axis robot arm that can go side to side, front to back, and then up and down. We need to build these gear racks in blue on the side, and then we need to put 2 motors, 3 motors. We need 4 motors. All right, so we need to build 2 racks on the side of the keyboard, and that will make it so that the thing can go forward and backwards. Beautiful, 2 gear racks. Aren't we excited? Boom, look at that. That'll fit around most keyboards this size. Now we just need to finish building out this track, and then we'll build the motor that goes on the side of it. Nice, okay. We just plug it in. What we have here is the gear that goes into the slot, and that is driven by this motor, which is at a 90-degree thing. So, I don't know what it's called, but here's how it works. Look, and I just hold it up slightly. Oh gosh. Now we gotta build the opposite of this, but on the other side, and completely opposite, and then we'll cover it by putting a little thing right above this. We'll make it so it pushes down constantly, so it's not just like, but yeah, this is how it works. Cord in here. Okay, that's perfect. They're both moving. We gotta really attach them in there. But now we have those. So once we attach these in here, we'll build a bar that goes across. And then, we'll build a bar that goes across, and then we'll build the poker. Okay, I think I got it working. Let's test it. Hey! That's it, guys. That's exactly what we want. So let's attach this at the top, bring it together, and then we'll work on the plunger that will go. Beep, 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 beep. This is what we have so far. Essentially, we have a rack on the top. We haven't built the pusher puller, but this is the same rack. This will fit something about this size with that much room in between, and then we'll just clip it off on the other side, and this will go back and forth. A little janky, but you know, it's fine. The next step is to clear off this table and build a thing that will push up and down. It'll be like a finger, so should be pretty easy. Here's how you're gonna build it. You're gonna take this, you're gonna put it in a pin, put your 4 long axle there, put that there, put that there. And here is our linear actuator. 1 turn, and we push the button. Now we gotta attach this to the top of this, but we need to do a thing where this thing actually works and sticks on here. We're gonna put the gear through like that, and boom! We have this top thing right here. Whoopsie! All right, and then we'll just attach the motor to that. That is going to work so well. Look at that. That will type anything. We need to clearly make some last adjustments. Let's plug everything in, and I will show you the magic of this genius. Okay, here we go. So if we want to type I love you, so that's how we go side to side. So space would be this, and then that. We press the space bar. We go all the way over to where I would be, and then we switch, and we go that, up to I, pretend the whole thing doesn't move, and then we switch again, and we go like that. I, and then we obviously won't be controlling all of it from this little device, but you get the point. It's actually working, right? So now we have to actually program this, fix a few bumps. How you just move this thing, I just realized. Anyway, let's go do that. So we have the keyboard kind of in place here, and then we'll set all the movements just so it doesn't move around. So let me show you how this works. I make a broadcast by clicking broadcast, and then I'm going to set it to, for example, down 1. When I receive down 1, it'll do these movements. So anything that says down 1 will essentially be triggered when I click down 1. So for example, if I want to go down 1, I drag this over to when program starts. So then if I hit play, this will go down 1. Oh, let's try that again. Watch this. Boom, down 1. So now it goes down 1 key. If we want to hit Y, we'll go down 1, wait 1 second, and then we'll grab left 1, and then we'll go click. And there we go, we clicked Y. So we're gonna set home, and then we'll just use these movements to program every single character on the keyboard, and then every sentence will be comprised of 10 or 12 of these movements. So we're gonna be here for a really long time, essentially. It's gonna take a while, but we're gonna do it. All right, here we go, guys. This is it after almost 8 hours. One of the hardest things to program I've ever done, by the way. Big thanks to Astonishing Studios for helping me out. Essentially what this does is it chooses from 7 different random sentences or phrases, and then it will type that in, but it has a safety feature. It'll click enter or return after every one, and so it will not send unless I have my finger on the command button, because command enter actually sends a thing. It's definitely not because I didn't want to program it to click. Let's find the first comment. Oh, here we go. First test. This is it. Whenever life fails, just remember you're not a 23-year-old guy who plays with Legos. We're gonna try and reply with something encouraging or funny. This one's more than funny, so here we go. Bam. What's it doing? W. H. A. 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 Wah! Space. LOL. And command, enter. We have sent the comment, let's go. That's my robot's reply to that comment. This is awesome. All right, we need to find more. This is on my my auto clicker for Minecraft. Even an average mobile PvPer without auto clickers can kill him, not gonna lie. Hey, that's not very nice. I'm gonna see if I can reply with something kind to that. Let's see, what do we got? W, A, Y, O, W. Wow. That was my reply for that one. This guy says, push your polar, you marble brain. That's called a piston. Let's see what it has to say about that. N. I. C. Nice. It's just nice things. You guys are funny. Let's reply to this guy. N. O. U. No, you. That's funny, right, guys? Well, I like how nerds are on YouTube. Yow. Yow. I'm gonna reply to this, even though I already have. Let's see. G. This was gonna say God bless. God bless for telling me I wasted an hour on this. Period. Enter. Nice. Hopefully we made that guy's day better, even though he doesn't like Legos. I don't know why. Maybe we should go to someone else's channel and reply to their hate comments. Here's Liam Thompson. He just posted, buying stupid gadgets so you don't have to. And hopefully this will say something funny. Nice. Guys, go like this comment on Liam Thompson's video. Nice, thanks. What? Let's go to Lover Reacts. This is Lover fella. I'm just gonna comment on this. What's it say? This is just so out of context and just so funny. It just doesn't even make sense. Ow, my finger. I mean, it's working really well. I'm very happy with it. OG thanks. This has just become a spam robot very quickly. If you guys learn anything from this video, I hope it's that you should always reply with kindness, because you never know what another person could be going through. My advice is, if you ever see a hate comment or get a hate comment, definitely don't aggravate it. Think of how you can communicate love or encouragement to them. In my case, it was building a Lego robot that replies saying really nice things. We need to make the YouTube community a lot stronger, and we can do that by being positive. You guys should know that no matter what you comment on my channel, I still love all of you, and I really appreciate you watching my videos. There's a couple verses down in the description, Matthew 5:38-40. Check those out. I just got a message from Anthony from Dental Digest.
What's up, Riley? I got a crazy task for you. I need a Lego robot that can brush my teeth. Feel free to add any crazy features.
I got you, bro. So we need to build a Lego robot that can brush Anthony's teeth. Based on Anthony's requests, I'm thinking we do 3 different things. Number 1, we have a catapult that dispenses Fat Glob disclosing tablets. They're basically these purple tablets that make your teeth purple. So we'd have it launch a disclosing tablet, make his teeth purple, and then we'll come in with the mouthwash. We want to build a mouthwash shooter that will actually shoot mouthwash into his mouth after the brushing is complete. For the brushing, we're gonna use 2 toothbrushes strapped back to back with a robot arm that will essentially fold up, brush one side, brush the other side, and then turn this way and brush the front. I'm not exactly sure how we're gonna do all of this in a little box like this, but I know we're gonna use the EV3. Step 1, we need to make these toothbrushes actually scrub. Let's grab a motor and a battery box, add a gear. We're gonna connect this bar like this, connect this gear like this. Okay, now put the toothbrush right here. We have a toothbrush scrubber thing-ish. Alright guys, it's working. The other idea I had is putting both of these back to back, and that way, we have double toothbrushes, so we don't need to move the robot arm very far. So it needs to go from here to here to here. So now we got the toothbrush part working. The next mechanism we need to make is one that catapults disclosing tablets. We're going to have a conveyor belt, and then it will move one by one, so you can use this thing multiple times. Push them onto the catapult, which isn't gonna be tension loaded or anything. We'll just have one motor with a gear ratio that will launch the catapult. So let's build this thing up. All right, look at that great theming there. Let's attach this to a motor. Now this thing should go ramp, ramp. Probably need a gear ratio though. Luckily for us, we already have a gear ratio built. This will go inside of the machine. Now we gotta build a conveyor belt that'll actually feed the disclosing tablets into the catapult. Perfect. And then on top of this, we just put a couple of these. Let's hook this up to some wheels. Put this on, put a gear ratio in here, attach to our motor, and check this out. I think we've actually completed this feature. One falls in, and then one launches. That's how we're gonna do the feeding system. Pretty simple, pretty loud, pretty reloadable, which is nice. Now that we got this mechanism, the next one we need to make is the one that will actually shoot the mouthwash into his mouth. We're gonna take this bottle right here, and what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna run 2 tubes into it. One of them will be connected to a Lego pneumatic pump we're gonna build, and the other one will go into the water and push the water out.
Because that's how science works.
By the way, I learned this from Astonishing Studios. We'll start with this. We're gonna put a wheel on here, and this is going to be an extra powerful pump. One on this side, attach it to there, and one on this side. Lock all 3 of those together. Now, we are generating pumped air. So, we gotta connect tubes to this. We got our pump right here. We're gonna hook this up to the air part. Now we have air. And to this water part right here, we're gonna hook it up to this valve, and that'll actually let us control the pressure so that it doesn't go out slowly. So now, we test it. Water shouldn't come out yet. But it's actually... Wait. Has to be pressurizing, and it is. And now, when we flip this valve, it takes a pee on our table. Okay, so now we know that it works. Now that we have all 3 of our mechanisms, we can finally build the robot arm for the toothbrush and get this thing all in a really cool looking machine and then test it. But we gotta figure out the arm first.
That moves.
We need a couple of these, a couple of these. Okay, so now this one rotates, and then we need a thing here to rotate. This needs to be a little taller. Perfect. We need to connect this to here and add a motor Guys, you know who taught me how to use these pieces? It was Michael Kanemoto, the guy from Lego Masters. He taught me about these pieces, and they are super useful for turning things 90 degrees. Okay, so this is the ugliest robot arm ever.
I know.
This piece will go in the bottom to actually turn the thing. And then we just need to add a 90-degree thing on this because it's being kind of annoying. Now we gotta build a cool base to attach everything to, and then we can make sure the code and stuff works and actually finally test this thing out. All right, so the first step to build the base is we need to lay down plates. And then we're gonna build up 4 black brick walls and add highlights at the top to make it look good. All right, if this is here and this is here, we could probably make it a bit smaller. I'm not gonna lie, my fingers kind of hurt from putting together these Legos. Seriously, it's weird, but like, they hurt. So for layout, I'm thinking we put this right here. So now we got our pump, we can store this literally just down here. I'm running into an issue where these are pulling that out, so I'm gonna hold those together. All right, now we have double, and I saw this on YouTube. If I remember the video, I'll link it, but they essentially just put double gears, and that helps these things not to slip. So we got that sorted. Now, mounting this, we're going to mount a motor underneath this. Then we're just going to make sure it spins. Now when this motor spins, the top will slowly rotate. All right, we've added some plates, and now we just have to push this down. All right, now we have to add a top to this and add our catapult in here, probably towards the front like this. So we have installed the catapult right here. That will catapult some disclosing tablets. We also have installed a button right here. So that will trigger the button sensor when he hits the disclosing tablet button. And then we have the robot arm right here. We need to put this thing right here. And then it's just a matter of covering up this top part and finally programming everything to work. Guys, we are getting so close. Look, we're getting the chin guard built up. Because it's basically just gonna look like this. And then the robot will come. Right now, everything is attached to the EV3s, but there's no code, so it doesn't do anything. So, really fast, let's code this thing. Here we go. All right, so one of the important things about creative coding is you actually list out everything you want your code to do before you start working on the code. So first thing you need to do is talk. I want to say like, hello, Anthony. So we need to jot all those down and then we can work on the actual code. So far, if I play the program, it is very not good. The main issue I'm having with this is the fact that it is completely limp and the motors can't hold themselves in place. So I can never get a precise enough movement. So I had this idea to use worm gears and attach each motor to a worm gear attached to a 90-degree joiner so that the sections won't move and they'll be a lot more precise to work with. So that should help a lot. The only problem is I only have like 7 hours to implement this, which means I have to take apart the entire robot arm and basically rebuild it. The worm gear is slipping because it's not tight enough against this. And that's the issue down here as well. After over 19 hours, I'm pretty positive we have finished the Dental Digest brusher bot. It was super hard. I had to rebuild the entire robot arm. But before we can actually send this to Dental Digest, we need to test it. And I'm kind of scared. All right, guys, so check this out. If we go here, and if I hit this button.
Disclosing tablet launcher activated.
Oh, here we go. I missed. So close. Oh, I got it. And then you chomp down on it, and it turns your teeth purple so you can actually see where you brushed. We gotta apply our toothpaste. That glob. It's not the same when I say it. That glob. And then, let's get brushing. Okay, it says place your chin on the rest, then press the button. So here we go. The button is right here.
This is Dental Digest. Let's get brushes.
So it's now brushing the side of my teeth. This is so cool. So it brushes the side first. Please remove mouth. And brushes the other side. Oh. It's really uncomfortable. And then it brushes the front of your teeth like this.
Let's check the after results.
That is so cool. Okay, a couple pieces broke up. Okay, so I'm very glad we tested that because a couple pieces broke off. We need to fix those pieces obviously before we send it. Now there's one other function I want to show you guys. As you can see, we have this mouthwash here and it can build up enough pressure in this bottle to shoot mouthwash. Watch this.
Press button. Mouthwash mode activated.
So now the pneumatic pump we built earlier is inside this machine building up pressure, as you can see in this. And then it says, please flip the lever for mouthwash. Oh, it's so spicy. Oh, I'm so sorry how gross this is, but that's pretty cool, guys. It actually works. I think we just need to fix a couple things, and I'd call this a complete success. We built a Lego robot that brushes your teeth, dispenses disclosing tablets, and actually shoots mouthwash. I'm gonna spend the next 2 weeks building a bunch of Lego contraptions and robots to help me prepare the food in the kitchen. We got our first order, which is a salad. To chop the vegetables for the salad, I've actually built a automatic vegetable chopper. To build it, I first had to figure out a mechanism that had enough power not only to slice, but to actually cut through the vegetables. And once I was happy with that, I built a clear Lego case to go around it. That way I would have an extra level of protection for my fingers. Don't do this at home. I've actually built in this hole into the side right here so that I can actually insert the vegetables. Let's slice some cucumbers here. Look at that. I can actually open up this guy so you guys can see. It's not lifting up quite as high as I would have hoped, but hey, it is chopping the vegetables, so it's working. Now let's get some carrots. Oh, there we go. Oh, whoa, oh gosh, turn it off. Now all we gotta do is slide out our cutting board and put that right there. And then we'll just finish off our salad here. Whoa. Add a little bit of Parmesan on top of that. All right, and our salad is ready to go. Today, I'm gonna build a Lego robot arm that I can control using my arm. Kind of like the ones Tony Stark uses in Avengers Endgame when he's putting in the Infinity Stones. And I'm gonna use the Lego Nano Gauntlet that I built to actually test out the robot. So here's the plan. First, we need to grab some parts. Here's my bin of EV3 parts, and we're going to need a gyro sensor. Basically, these actually sense the degrees that it turns. So what we need to do is we need to find the output of the gyro sensor. And then we need to take that same output and make it so that this always equals that same output. Theoretically, if my coding from last year is sufficient, this will work amazing. Look at that, guys. Okay, so now it's working. As you can see, it works. So basically here we're just subtracting the gyro sensor rotation from the motor rotation, and then we're feeding the difference between those into a motor block to tell it how far to turn, so that they always equal roughly the same thing. So now we just need to connect 3 more of these to different parts on our arm and different parts of the robot, but we need to fix this setup first, because we need to optimize for torque, and I know a perfect way to do that. We need one of these. We're also gonna need some of these bushings. One of these. I actually bought some of these, so we can use a worm gear. We also need some of these gears, because these make it work. So to build a worm gear thing, we need this. Put the worm gear in here, like that. We put an axle through this so we can spin the worm gear, and then we add a couple of bushings on each side, just to hold that in, and then we grab a gear, and we put this right here. So now, the cool thing about worm gears is that you can only spin them using the worm gear. So now we just need to connect this to this. So this will hook onto the next section, and that'll be how we hinge the robot arm. So now, we grab this thing, so when we play the program, and then the code, we'll just need to add a multiplier to this to account for this gear ratio. You can also use a metal axle and gear in there, since we have some of those from Metal Technic parts, but that works perfectly. Okay, so that'll control the next section. So now we just need to build more joints. We need the one for the bottom, so it can reach like this. 2, 3, and then one to rotate the bottom. So let's build a couple more of these. Okay, so now we have 3 of these. So now each one hooks onto its own motor. The motor turns it, and that will turn the following section. Now if we connect a motor to this next one, we just need to find a way to connect these using Technic. Take this, connect this to this, and we put this on here. This is just a prototype. We want it as short as possible, basically, and these aren't gonna be in line with each other. The next one we'll just put on this side, so it'll still keep its balance, but it won't really work to have this right in front of this. It'll just make it too long. We're trying to go with a micro arm, okay? Wow, that's a big robot arm. But look, it holds itself up. Uh-oh. Oh, this piece. Crud. We'll find a better way to attach that, I guess. We just need to kind of shrink this up a little bit to make it shorter, and then we can figure out how we're gonna spin the bottom section. Okay, so we've just finished putting this together, basically. It's a little wobbly, little wibbly, whatever, right? But it works. So now we need to figure out two things. We need to figure out, one, how we're going to build a gripper on the front that's gonna actually open and close using only this one motor. And two, how we're gonna make the bottom turn. Now I already have an idea for that, but we need a single piece that's gonna make that work. So if we go over to this drawer here, this drawer, I have no idea where it is. Dude, there we go. So this is the piece that I need. The reason is because we can turn this using a motor on the bottom. And this can also connect to this motor like that. And then we just need one more motor going into this piece right here, which will make it turn. All right, so for this thing, we need to connect this to the bottom right here. And then what we need to do is we need to create a 90-degree
turny thing here.
Because this needs to come up to the top, this gear. This will control the turning of the top. Again, this is another gear ratio, so we'll need to add a multiplier in the code. Basically, that turns that. And then on the bottom down here, instead of putting this straight up like this, since that would take up a ton more space, I'm gonna put it like this and then use something like probably this piece here. Usually I'd use these bevel gears for this, and you put one right here and one in there. Put a piece like this through, and now as you can see, you've transitioned the rotary function to go 90 degrees. But we happen to have some metal Technic parts gears here that are made of metal that are also bevel gears. So we're gonna use those just to add an extra strong factor. Then we'll just replace it with those, and that will be perfect. Boom, there we go. Now this thing goes right up through here. Look at that, guys. And that's how that works. Now that controls that. And then in here, we just need a piece to go all the way across. Really hold that together. And that ain't going anywhere. So now we just connect this to this using my favorite pieces, these little things. These are just these little pins. And so we can set them up like this. Basically on all my robot arms, I use the same pin system. You basically just snap together, super satisfying noise, and boom. So now that's our robot arm. The next step, we need to actually build a claw. And we have one motor. If you think about it, we don't exactly need this torque. Grab a couple of these, and these are like these little lift arm things. We wanna get the smallest ones we can, and then we get two of these, like that. And now in these corners, what we do is we add. So now we have that. So these can close. So now we need this. Inside of this, we add both of these, and this way we can put them both in the same stud, like that, which is absolutely perfect. And then we add that, add these pieces here, bam, bam. Then all we need, a piece like this, cool. And then let's just try that again on the other side. All right, so now when the motor turns, as you can see, as this motor turns it, it opens and closes the arms. But there's that. Then if we reattach this like this, put that in there. All right, so now let's hook this up to the EV3 and test the individual motor movements. I just wanna stop right here and ask, would you consider subscribing? Thanks. And there we go. So now if we just hold this, okay, it's a little fast, but that's okay, we'll fix that in the programming. That's also a little fast, but it works. Perfect. Now we gotta connect 4 cables to the sensors, and then we need to work on the multipliers. And for the gear ratio multipliers, I found a super cool resource that's free and is online. Lego Gear Ratio Calculator. This is by Sariel. He actually has a YouTube channel. This is his website, Sariel Tools. But he actually has a free gear ratio calculator. We put in the driver gear of the worm gear ratio. We bring that up as 1 tooth, and then we put in the follow gear, 24 teeth. We have 24 to 1. So for the worm gears, whatever it senses in degrees, we need to multiply it by 24 because we're gonna have to have moving 24 times to get 1 actual rotation. And then for the bottom, we just switch this out to a 20 tooth gear and then 60 tooth gear. And the ratio is 3 to 1. So we'll need to multiply this one by 3. We can do that in the code really simply. Super great resource. I'll leave a link down in the description. So let's start with this one at the bottom here. So if we do this here, 180 degrees, that doesn't go 180 degrees. So now we need to add in that multiplier. We just want to multiply the angle that is going in from the gyro sensor. So multiply that by 3 and then bring that in. Subtract that from what the motor is. So let's see if this works. There we go. Now it's matching the angle, right? So that's perfect. So now when we attach it to our arm, that's exactly what we want. Okay, so we just multiplied it by 3 and that fixes the gear ratio. We're just gonna take this code and literally just dupe it. is perfect. Okay, so next up, we have 4 of these gyro sensors, and we need to attach them to 4 points on my arm. For the finger, we can actually use, for the finger, we can literally just use this piece. Just like that. Okay, so now we can connect that, and we can connect this on top of here. So let's build a couple straps. And we need 1 more of these. Theoretically, it should fit right here, and it does. This can go right here. So now we just need to attach these to this. We're getting so close to having this thing done. All right, so the next step is to actually make this look like a cool robot arm instead of just a bunch of Technic pieces and motors thrown together. All right, guys, this is it, the moment you've all been waiting for. I finally completed it, and that's with coding and everything else, so check us out. Basically, to start it up, you turn it on. This goes on first, so this will control the rotation. Then what we're gonna do is we're going to put on this, which will control the thing right here, and then the sling ring. Then all we gotta do is get in the same position as this, so that we always start off in the same position. So that's about like this. And we just play it. Open and close the grabbers, bring it back up, and that's how it works. I needed to attach a rubber thing to this, but that didn't end up happening. Now, it's not 100% accurate. There were some bugs just having all these sensors in a line like this. So let's try this out. Let's put it flat, and then we can actually try and grab something. This is like a weird thing, but we'll see if we can grab it. So if we start it out like this, start program. Can we reach this? Angle this down. A little more. Grab it. We're so close. I just need to like pick up this brick here. There we go. Finally. So I'm realizing it would actually be better to just have it so that I can control, kind of like a controller. You push up to go up. I would just angle my hand up instead of it following my hand movement exactly. It kind of gets a little bit out of whack after a while, but we picked up a brick, and that's a grip tank. And there you go. The true test to see if this actually works, we're gonna try and put the Infinity Stones on our Lego Nano Gauntlet that we built. So I've attached Lego magnets to the Infinity Gauntlet, and on the back of the Infinity Stones, we have paper clips. I know it's kind of ad lib, but hey. The goal is to see if we can actually pick them up from this little pedestal and set them on top of this. Let's see if we can do this. The whole point of this is that so you can't touch the Infinity Stones, and here I am just touching them. First Infinity Stone is on. Okay, now for the Power Stone. Okay, and this one goes right in that top corner. I'm gonna angle this just a little bit. Right up there. Second one is down. Then we have the Reality Stone. I can get in the hang of this. So I drop it. I put that right up there. Oh my gosh, this is very stressful. Next up we have the Space Stone. And that is the Space Stone. We're doing good. Now, the Soul Stone. Here we go. And there we go. Okay, one more stone. All right, bring over the Time Stone and gently place it on. And now we have all the Infinity Stones, and this thing has just run out of battery. Wow, okay, so it does work. You know, it obviously needs some tweaking. I think this is a super novel idea. So yeah, as is, I'd probably rate this an 8 out of 10 just because it's so cool. Not a 10 out of 10 because of the tweaks it has. I mean, who else can say that they have a robot arm they can control with their real arm? That's like pretty sick. What you're about to see is the story of how I built a Lego robot arm that can not only assist me when building things with Lego, but build Lego itself. Sort of. But before you see all the crazy stuff this Lego robot can do, let's go back 1 month to when I first came up with the idea to build a Stark Industries-like robot to help me when I'm building my Lego inventions. means I suck at mechanical engineering. And I don't have enough Lego Technic to actually build a robot arm, which is why I impulsively bought the biggest Lego Technic set ever made with no intention of actually following the instructions and building it. I'm not an idiot, I promise. This set comes with all the electronics and actuators and Technic pieces I could ever need to build a Lego robot arm. So the first step is to actually make a plan of paper, because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so I spent a good amount of time trying to figure this out, and I figure if we use a 6-axis robot arm, we can have a claw, we can have a rotate here, rotate there. It'll essentially end up looking like this, so we'll have a base. The confidence I have in myself to do this the right way is extremely low, but you gotta start somewhere, right? Right? Step one, we need to attach this big thingy. We're going to take this, attach it to a base, and then on top of this, we're going to have a rolling mechanism using these wheels, and they kind of just like ride the track. So, let's do that. All right, so we got the base moving, as you can see. Just like that. Just some simple gears, there's the motor, and the gears go up to this rotating plate thing. It rotates that entire thing, and that can be controlled with this app. And I can add a ton more knobs and stuff. So, that's where we're at, and we're at 3 hours and 15 minutes. All right, so it has been almost 7 hours. I just completed the base. This will connect to this power brick or hub or whatever you want to call it. And there's one motor underneath that will spin this whole thing. So all I have to do is do that until it disconnects. So now the goal is to take this and build up a box that's about yay big, and then inside of that, we'll put another power hub at the top. We're gonna put a motor inside it to hinge the next section. So now just to figure out how to do that. Okay, so we have slightly bad news. This whole thing is too tilty. So that means I have to take this off and figure out how to connect that better. But I mean, the rest of it's coming along. We just need to finish up this arm and then get the first gear system in place for these two actuators to go here. I think this is the first major snag we've hit. So now I just have to figure out how to unsnag. All right, guys, so it's almost been 12 hours. And literally everything that could go wrong has. We've replaced the whole system we had with mechanical actuators, and hopefully that will do it. But this arm could not lift more than itself. And that's not good, because we still have one and then a little rotating arm still to put on that. So we're getting closer. The next thing we need to do is finish designing this arm, and then we need to design the hand right on top of that. After all that is done, we can finally test it and see if this arm is as good as I had hoped it would be. Not gonna lie, it probably won't be, but imagine if it is. Now, we have our first system. We'll get a better mount on there. Okay, so as you can see behind me, it's going really well. However, we've run into an issue. Like always, why are we always running into issues? It's so stupid. But we did run into a small issue, which is that this thing, how do you hold this on? Like, it has to go in there and it has to go in here. And how does that not wear out over time and just fall out? So we gotta fix that. Okay, so this works like this. So now this thing twists sideways, this thing twists up and down, and this thing twists up and down. So all we need for this build to be done is just a, grabber claw thingy. So it's coming along really good. We are roughly 15 hours in or so. The last thing we need to do before this is completely finished is build a robot hand. So just a little grabber, but then this thing will be done and we can start testing it and using it.
Okay, hopefully the audio doesn't cut out because I'm having microphone issues.
Okay, so now for the last step before we can actually do stuff with this thing and make it actually like build stuff, we have to build a builder. So we have to build a hands that can essentially grab bricks, pick them up, put them down in a fashion where it like presses it on. So this is the base that the robot's gonna be building on, and so what we need is something that can go like this, and then go like this, but it can't just set it down anywhere. It has to be precise, which is gonna be the hardest part about this project, because I still, again, don't know what I'm doing. But once that happens, we need to make it so when it opens, a little pusher comes down and pushes. We have this axle right here, which will spin, and this will activate the pincers, as you would say. Okay, so now all I gotta do is perfect this, and then we should be good. Okay, so I don't know how to slow the motors down. So I reached out to this one really cool YouTuber called Racing Brick, and he actually told me that you have to multiply it by a negative number or something. So I tried that, and luckily it worked. So that means that everything works on the robot, and now all I have to do is cover it up and make it look good. And right now, it kind of looks like poo-poo. So let's do that. Here we are at the very end of our journey, and we've created this awesome Lego robot. I'm gonna show you some of the stuff it can do. The first thing, so you can see all the different stuff it does. So that goes up as well as down, right there. And then this can rotate 360 degrees, very slowly. It can also go up and down, like that. This goes about 90 degrees down like that. You can see here, this one in the front goes up and down, and this one also goes sideways, so you can do some nice little positional combos. I'm not really sure. The first experiment I want to run is to see if this can move a brick from one to the other, and see if it can click it into the base plate. So let's do that. We got our brick right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go this way, the other way, like that, and I'm going to lower this a little bit. Let's see if we can pick this up. Just close the chompers there. And there we have our brick. Just pick that up nice and easy. Actually that went really well. The robot's like in the middle of my screen here, so now we can go back over to this side, and let's see if we can snap it down actually. Line it up over the studs there. Let's let it go, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back up, close this, and we're going to push it down. All right, let's see how that did. So it looks like it pressed it down about 60%. I mean, 1/2 is all the way on there, so I'd say that did pretty good. So I've given it a brick separator, and we're gonna see this piece is all the way pushed down. You can see if I put it on there like that. We're gonna see if it can brick separate, just with like a normal brick. So let's bring it down. And then we might have to move this further away. Okay, I moved the brick forward a little. And then if we can do this, should connect, and then open these up, push this down.
Yay!
Guys, it brick separated. Look at that. And now you just retrieve the separator, and then just bring the brick separator back, and maybe you can like... Nice! Got that? So it's not very good at doing the fine detail things. I know why that is. It's because this base is super wobbly, so it needs a whole new rotation system in there. I'm just not really sure how to do that yet. But the next thing I want to see is if it can take a little axle and push it through one Technic hole. Okay, so it can do that. The big question is, can you hold a soldering iron? Look at that, it can. Pretend that's plugged in. So we can hold a soldering iron, so that's a plus. This machine holding a hot soldering iron, that sounds fantastic. Stab. Let me see if we can hold a drawer. Actually pretty sick, and then I just grab stuff out of the drawer. Well, that's pretty awesome. Let's see, what else can I do? Would you mind holding this for a second? Nice. So it holds the Iron Man head, so that's kind of cool. So I'll have to adjust the weight based on what it needs to pick up. Right now I have rubber bands up here just as a, helper for it. But essentially that's what it can do. I really want to go back to stacking those bricks because I feel like if I can't stack 3 bricks, then I've failed. 3 bricks. And now we're gonna pick them up and stack them over here, just like right on top of each other. Let's see if we can do it. Here's one. That's it. That's the place right there. Okay. Please do not fail me now. Close the claws. Here we go. Put this on top of those. Well, the building aspect of this thing is kind of a failure, but it can assist me and it does work relatively well. There's a lot of things in here that need to be improved, and I'm sure I'll get a lot of time to do that. But before this can actually build, we need to fix a couple things. Thanks so much for watching, guys. My name's Riley, and I'll talk to you in the next Brick Science. See ya.